Hello, everyone. Lorree Appleby here, your soul adventure guide. And I'm so excited to do this session with you today. Today, we're going to talk about the wisdom of our soul, also known as our intuition, our higher self, our inner knowing, our psychic guidance. But really, it's that wonderful part of you that has the best intention for you and is taking you on adventures in life so that you can get all sorts of experiences being human. So, we're going to talk about soul's wisdom, your intuition, your inner knowing, which is all really a collective voice of your higher self, your guides, your teachers, your angels, divine creator, divine love source, God, whatever you call it. And we are designed to receive this information, which is all energy, just like everything is. So our bodies are like radio antennas. We are psychic receivers and transmitters. So we're receiving information, which is vibration, and we're transmitting information, which is vibration. So whatever we receive and we send out, it's like in our feeling, our sensings, our knowings. And so if we send out a happy, joyful energy, we'll most likely receive that back. If we often feel sad or angry and we're stuck in that and we're not really letting ourselves feel it, but we're kind of resisting it, then we might receive more of that. Now, I'm not saying it's not okay to feel sad or angry or something like that. It's actually good to feel that because when it arises, we can let that energy move through us. So when it arises, we can feel our feelings, but we want to maybe if you know you're somewhere where it's not a good place to do that, then you want to wait till you get home or you want to go out in nature. These are all good ways to feel your feelings. But what we want is that energy to move through us. Because if we hang on to it by resisting it, not letting ourselves feel our feelings, or we push it away, I don't want to feel that way, then our energy is going to stay stuck in our body, this sad, angry energy. And then that is what we end up transmitting out, those lower vibrational emotions, right? And I hope that makes sense to you. So our bodies all have a subconscious mind. We're not usually aware of our subconscious mind because it's underneath, way down, but it's a huge part of how our mind works. It's powerful because it holds all of our memories, everything that's happened to us in this lifetime and in all of our other lifetimes. And it is very intelligent, but it's also programmed by our experiences. So whatever happens to us is programming us, especially from ages 7 or 8 and younger. So everything that happens is it comes into our awareness, it comes into our consciousness, and it gets put into the subconscious. And so it is our unique filter. So you know what a filter is. It's kind of like, I don't know if you are on social media, but they have different filters to make you look different, make the picture look black and white or to look really pretty or to put some hearts around you. Those are filters. So our subconscious is like our filters. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because we all have our own unique filters based on the experiences that we had. Our subconscious is also connected to everything, to all that is, right? And so the best way to connect with it is gentle, repetitive suggestion. So just like this playing the soul adventure game. So doing something subtle, gentle, but over and over and over again, right? So that's why I love playing the soul adventure game, because the messages are so supportive and loving, and they all go into my subconscious, right? So before we want to communicate with our subconscious and our intuition that comes through us, it has to pass through the filters as well. We have to decide we want to communicate it because we all have free will, right? And our minds are often being influenced if we're around a lot of other people, the things that we learn in school, our family, if you watch television or you're on social media, all these things influence us and they affect our filters. So remember how you feel after being around any one of these types of things. How does it make you feel? Maybe you want to be around it more, or maybe you want to be around it less because it doesn't make you feel good. You will know when you check in, right? If you're around something or someone and you're not feeling so good, remember that. And then you can maybe decide that you don't want to be around them. And I will talk to you about at the end what to do if you kind of have to be around them. Maybe it's because you have to go to school and there's something or someone there. I will tell you what to do at the end so that you can not allow that energy to come in. So our intuition comes through, our soul's wisdom comes through to us when we are relaxed and calm and able to sense it. Now, if we are in danger, then that's a little bit different. That's more like our instincts that would protect us. So if we're walking down the street and there's a scary dog that's growling, our instincts might say, turn around and walk the other way, or run away, or, find safety. That's different. It's still an intuitive thing, but it's a little different. What the intuition that I'm speaking out is a subtle energy. It's a gentle energy. It's kind and loving. It never tells us anything negative or bad, or it's not judging us. It's guiding us, right? So it can be our higher self, or it can be our guides, our spirit guides, which can be our teachers, our angels, our past loved ones, something else. There's so many different types of guides it could be. I'm not even going to get into all of that. That's another session altogether. But it is good to practice and connect, grow our connection with them. Okay. So the reason why we want to do that is because it helps our everyday life to be better. We are in situations that are joyful and life just flows. It's really easy and it's even fun. And it also helps us to solve problems and to do what is best in a situation. So if we're not sure what to do, tuning in and asking your own inner guidance, what is the best thing to do right now? Maybe it's to not do anything at the time. Maybe it's to just be silent and just wait. And then you'll receive some information. But it's about tuning in to see, right, what's best. So I'm going to share some simple ways so that you can sense your soul's wisdom, your intuition more clearly. But first, I want to know, because I mentioned our higher self, do you have a relationship with your higher self? So our higher self, in case anyone that's watching this doesn't know, is the part of you who remembers where you came from and why you're here. It's directly connected to your soul, and it's loving, it's kind, and it always has your best intention in mind. So it can be fun to give your higher self a name, because if we're going to make a connection and build a relationship with our higher self, just like anybody, we want to know what their name is. So if you don't have a name for your higher self or you're not sure, you can just ask. Just take a breath or a couple of breaths. And you say, higher self, what is your name? What should I call you? And then what do you hear? You might just hear higher self. You might hear a name. Try it, see what happens. And I would be curious to know what your higher self's name is. So now that you've done that, or you can do that a little later if you haven't done that right now, I want to share 4 tips to sense your intuition, your soul's wisdom, your higher self, your psychic guidance, which is a collection of all of these things, more easy. So the first step is to be open to it so that we can be receptive. So we can simply state it out loud. I am open to receiving my higher self's wisdom, or my soul's wisdom, or my psychic guidance, or my intuition, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. It's all the same. So I'm open to receiving. And remember, the messages that come in are subtle, meaning they're gentle, they're not loud and really noticeable. You need to be calm and aware to receive them. And everybody receives them a little differently, like I said, because of your filters. So what it means to you might mean something totally different to someone else, right? That's okay, because you develop your own language with your intuition, right? But it's about being aware. So being open is the first one. The second one is to expect it. Expect it. You're going to get it. It's if you are probably already are, because you're a kid or a teen. But our psychic guidance, our intuition is natural. And we all have this ability, every single one of us. But it's something that we need to develop. It's like a muscle we need to build, right? So when we turn it on and we say, yes, I'm giving my attention, I am listening to my higher self or to my soul's wisdom, you are basically directing the energy and you're saying, okay, I'm opening up a connection, right? So the third tip is to trust it. So this isn't always easy, but it is divine source gift to you. It's your connection to help you, guide you, inspire you, protect you, teach you, lead you, support you. It's a loving and beautiful force. And like I said, it is gentle, and it's never going to override and your free will, your choice. It's never going to do that. It's never going to override your emotions or trick you in any way. None of that is your intuition. That's not your intuition at all. So yes, we can feel unsure sometimes of the information that we receive. So my suggestion is to slow down, relax, breathe into your heart, and value it by tuning into it, and accept that its purpose is here to help you. It's really about self-trust. So you can think back to a time when you didn't trust yourself. How did that feel? How did things unfold in the situation? And then once you've done that, think back to a time when you did trust yourself. What feelings came up? How did it feel different than when you didn't trust yourself? How did things unfold? So I asked you to do this so that you could feel the difference between trusting yourself and not trusting yourself. And it is about practice. So it's okay if you didn't trust yourself and you kind of wish you did. It's okay, because we are here on our soul adventures. And part of the learning and growing is to make mistakes, right? Mistakes. Mistake, take one, take two, take three, like they do in the movies. We make mistakes as well. And we just take another, do another take, right? So practice gently receiving, tuning in, asking questions, taking small actions. This all builds our self-trust. And this leads me to the fourth and final tip, and that is to act on the message that you receive. Every time that you act on your soul's wisdom, your intuition, you are saying to your subconscious mind that you believe your intuition, your soul's wisdom. You're telling your higher self that you value and trust it. And your guides, they know that you are receiving and acting on the messages that they're sending you. And that means that they can help you even more, right? Because they can't help us unless we ask them to, and we take the action. Sometimes people will ask them and then they don't listen and they don't take the action. And then the guides are like, well, how can I help you if you don't want me to help you? Right? But they're never going to want to stop helping you, but we must ask and then we take action. So when we act on our intuition, we're also activating our superpower of our psychic guidance because we are fully being in our power. We are receiving, we're open, we are expecting, we are trusting, and we are acting. And life is so much more joyful. We feel more safe and secure. We feel at peace. And things that we do often take way less effort. It feels so much, it just flows. However, it doesn't mean that we don't have to put in effort. Yes, we do, because that's the physicality of being here as a soul in a body. We must put in our effort, and we also must be responsible for our actions, right? Because we live in this world of humanity. So think about when you've acted on your intuition and how it felt. What happened? How did it unfold? Right? This is a great way to look back on when you have done this and what happened. Okay, so another really fun way to use our intuitive abilities is through telepathic connections. So I'm just going to talk about this a little bit, but this is really fun. So have you ever thought about somebody or someone just they came into your mind and your thoughts, and then they phoned you or they messaged you? Have you ever had an idea and then someone else told you the same idea, or you read it else somewhere else, or you heard it somewhere else? This is you telepathically connecting to information. So we can do it through seeing information somewhere else, but then we can also do it connecting to others, right? So I have this ability definitely with my family, and most of us do. My husband and I will often, I'll hear something about him and then he'll tell me it after. Or my son and my daughter, they don't live with me anymore. They're grown up. So I'll be just doing something. Maybe I'll be cooking in the kitchen. And then all of a sudden my son will pop in my head. And then next thing you know, he's calling me. Or my daughter will phone me or show up. And I was just thinking about her. So this is very cool because the reason why we have it stronger with our family or our loved ones or someone we're very close to is because we have a stronger energy connection. Our receiving and transmitter is very connected to each other. We've created an energy flow of connection, right? So as long as things are flowing and there's no judgment or anything, we have a very clear transmitting and receiving back and forth with that other person. Now, sometimes when there's judgment or there's a fight that happens or something like that, that can create an energy block, and that connection, that telepathic connection, isn't as strong. But we can always clear that through healing, through doing, some kind of energy work. But so has this happened to you? Do you have telepathic connection? Maybe you want to play a fun game with your friend or your caregiver or a brother or a sister or someone, and play and just start thinking, just come up with a game. Okay, I'm going to think about something. I'm going to think about something and think about a happy thought and see what they pick up. This is a fun way to practice connecting telepathically with someone else. And if you get it wrong, it's okay, but maybe they'll get it differently. Maybe they'll sense something differently, because remember, we're all doing it through our own filters, right? So what means one thing to me might think something different to someone else, but once you talk about it, you realize it's a similar, same thing, right? So in saying all of that, we're all interconnected. That's what this shows you. We have stronger connections with some people, and then some we don't. But what I also want to share is that because we're all connected and we can tune into others' thoughts and feelings without even trying, it's important, if you're a sensitive person like I am, to surround yourself and protect your energy. And we want to protect our energy because we don't want unwanted energies to come into our energy field. So our energy field is like, usually goes around how big our arms are, and it goes all the way around our body, right? And you know, when someone comes close to you, then you feel it. Well, that's because they just entered your energy field. But people can come into your energy field and you didn't invite them in. And that's why it's important when you're going to be in a public with a lot of people, or you maybe have to go somewhere where um, there's a lot of sadness. Maybe you have to go to a funeral or something. Someone transitioned on to the other side. They died. Their soul left their body, meaning you would want to protect your energy. It's kind of just thinking like when we get in our car and we're going to drive in our car, we close our doors, we roll up our windows, or maybe we don't, but we put on our seatbelts, right? So we're protecting ourselves because we're going to be out driving around with all these other people and we don't know what they're going to do. Well, protecting your energy by shielding it or putting a bubble of protection around yourself, a bubble of love and light. Or what I like to do is I imagine, so this is the thing, you can protect your energy any way you want because it's your intention that's doing it. And our intention is everything. So use your intention and use your imagination. And however you choose to do it's going to work. So I'm going to share what I like to do is I like to imagine a beautiful ribbon swirling around me, wrapping around me, protecting my energy, keeping it clear so all my energy stays within my energy field, and any energy, well, I set my intention that no energy can come into my field that is not for my highest and best good. That's what I say. I say it in my head, I do it, and it's done, right? And I do this in the morning when I wake up. I do it before I go to sleep. I do it if I have to go out in public. Like I said, if I do it before I get on a call, and that way I can be a nice, clear channel. I have clear energy flowing through me. There's no interference outside of me that's coming in. So however you choose to do it is great for you. And it's another really fun way to practice protecting your energy so that you can receive the guidance that is for the highest and best for all and for you, of course. So, do you do this? How do you do this? What does your protection bubble look like? You can do it differently. You don't have to do it the same way every time, but we simply do it through taking some breaths, bringing our focused tension inward, and surrounding ourselves. And we can also ask our guides to protect us, especially angels. Angels are really a big part of what they do is to protect us. And I always ask Archangel Michael to protect me when I drive in the car. I don't know why, I just do that. It's just a thing I always do, and he always does. So you can also ask your guides to help protect you. But I think it's important that you do your own protection as well, right? Because you are a powerful creator being. So now that we've talked about all these different ways to receive your soul's wisdom, your intuition, your psychic guidance more clearly, I want to play the soul adventure game. So let's see what message we get that's going to support us. Okay, we got empathy. I am empathy. So this is the compass being cards. And these are the compass. They all have an affirmation at the bottom. So I'm going to read it to you. I sense, understand, and have compassion for others' experiences and emotions. I am empathy. So what does that feel like in your body? I'm going to read it one more time. I sense, understand, and have compassion for others' experiences and emotions. I am empathy. So I feel like this card came up because we were talking about the protecting our energy and other people's energy. And there's all sorts of people out in the world, a whole bunch of different souls, and some are doing amazing and some are not. And we can have empathy, we can be kind and loving to them, but we don't have to attach to their experience, because that's their experience and we're having our experience. But what happens oftentimes is we, as humans, we end up it's like an entanglement. We end up getting all jumbled up with other people's energy, and it's not even our energy, it's their energy that we took on. So when we can be in empathy, we are not attached, but we are still connected, and we can send love, and we can understand or understand, which I like to use, and have compassion for their experiences and emotions, and knowing that they're on their path and they're having their soul adventures, and that's okay. And we don't have to do anything, fix them, save them, rescue them, but we can be kind and loving to them. And if they ask for our help and it feels that right, and we check in, then we can support them and give them help, right? Okay, so let's pull the next deck of cards. So these are the chakra locator cards. So these are all the different chakras, the 7 main, not all of them. We have lots of them actually. The 7 main chakras, which are energy centers. See which one we get. Okay, we got higher self me. Oh my gosh, how perfect is that? How perfect is that? I love it. We're talking about our higher self, and we chose the higher self me card. So the higher self me, this chakra is our chakra number 7. It's right up here at the top of our head. It's often either a violety pink color, or it could also be white or gold. But in the cards, it's a violety pink color. And our higher self me is your soul connection to source energy is always focused on the highest good of all. Our higher self always has our highest good and the highest good of all in mind when it guides us and supports us. That's amazing. Love it. Okay, so our last deck of cards that we're going to pull to get a message is the adventure energy cards. So these cards are broken up into 3 different pillars. I like to call them 3 different energies. There is mindfulness energy, which is that calm, relaxed, present awareness state that we are in. That's so important for us to have when we want to hear our intuition, our soul's wisdom clearly. And then there's also healing energy. And healing energy is when we feel sad or angry and we need some healing, some forgiveness, some love, some acceptance to come through. That's the healing energy. And then there's creating energy. And creating energy, I like to think of as our pure potentiality, what we are fully capable of when our mind and our heart are connected together. And then spirit just flows through us. This beautiful guidance that we were just talking about flows through us. This is our creating energy. So the card that we got is creating energy, and it's giving. We are giving. So I'm just going to tune in. So a couple of things are coming up for me. We are giving. We're giving ourselves what we need so we can clearly hear our soul's intuition. So we are open, we expect it, we trust it, and we act on it. We are giving ourselves protection so that we are hearing and we're not just hearing, we're sensing our own energy, our own guidance, not others outside of us. And we're also giving others empathy. Remember, we got the empathy card? So we're giving others empathy. So we got all 3 cards. I am empathy with my higher self, me. Therefore, I am giving. I am empathy with my higher self me, therefore I am giving. What comes up for you after you hear that sentence, that partial sentence? Your intuition, your higher self, your soul's wisdom is going to give you an ending to the sentence. I am empathy with my higher self me, therefore I am giving. Whatever it is for you is perfect. You might hear a word, you might hear a few words, a phrase, you might have saw a vision, because we all receive this guidance differently, right? Sometimes we receive it because we hear words. Sometimes we see something, we actually see something when we close our eyes, or we see something when our eyes are closed, open, or we hear something, or we sense it, we just know it, or we feel it in our body. There's so many different ways to receive your psychic guidance, your soul's wisdom, your intuition, your higher self, your spirit guides. All of these collective energies make up your soul's wisdom, right? So how do you sense and receive intuitive guidance? Maybe you, mostly for me, I feel it and I know it. But now, what happens is we'll start to develop more psychic abilities. And so now I'm starting to see energy, and I'll see a vision when I close my eyes. And sometimes I'll hear a voice in my head. But my main ones were the feeling and the knowing. The knowing is when you just all of a sudden, boom, out of the blue, something pops into your brain, into your mind, and you weren't thinking about anything. It just popped in there, and then it leaves just as quickly. And so it took me a while to trust that information. It took me a while to trust that intuition, because it came in and left so quickly. I didn't know what it was. So we all have different of these, like they call them clairs. They're clair, that I won't get into all of that, but the different ways we receive our intuition. And there's no right or wrong way, but usually we have one that's stronger or a couple that's stronger. Mine is my feeling, my sensing. I just, especially when I'm talking to someone or I'm with someone who has a lot of emotions, I can sense and I can feel. I have the empathy for them. And it took me a while, that because I wasn't protecting my energy, because I didn't know that's what I was supposed to do. And I was picking up a lot of energy that wasn't mine, and had a lot of emotions, and sad and angry and all of those things. But when I learned to protect my energy, I was able to have empathy for other people without taking on their energy, because it wasn't my energy to take on. That was their energy, their experience, their sensing, feeling. So I love the message that we got. I love it. It was so perfect. So whatever something means to you, when you receive information, you're going to receive it through your own filters, right? Your own unique language. So that's why it's important to practice these gentle, repetitive practices. Because when we see different things, it means different things to us. So for me, when I see a dandelion fluff, you know, those wishes, when I see that, I know, because I've developed this communication, that I know that that is spirit, that is my guides, that is my higher self telling me that I'm on the right track. It's my confirmation. And so we'll get different medicine. Oftentimes we'll receive information through it's called a metaphor, meaning like you'll see a color, or you'll, like I said, I see a wish, or you'll see an image of something. And what does that mean to you? So when you see something and you tune into how you feel, then you can start to develop a language, a communication with your higher self and your guides, because they're going to communicate with you through your own filters. So how they communicate with me is going to be different to how they communicate with you, to how they communicate with someone else. So don't worry what others do. Develop your own communication, okay? Make it fun. Use your imagination. Explore, play, draw, and see what comes through your pencil crayons. There's so many ways to develop this ability that is natural to you. But the important is to clear the energy, clear your energy so that it can come through clearly. So we want to clear our mind, to be silent and still. We want to ask questions, and we want to tune in to what comes up in our awareness. And we also, is a great way is to get a journal, get a book that you write down all these messages that you're receiving. Write down how it felt for you, because this is your evidence. This is how you can start to develop your language, your communication with your higher self and your guides. And oftentimes what happens is we'll receive some information and then we forget it, right? Because it leaves our mind. So that's why writing it down in a book will help you to develop it so it's stronger, because it is a muscle. Remember I said it's a muscle we're building. So make it joyful, make it fun. Don't worry when you get it wrong, because it's just another mistake. Take 2, take 3, and enjoy and have fun. Hearing, tuning in, following your intuition, your soul's guidance, your psychic abilities. So with that, I'm going to end. Thank you so much. It was so fun to be with you, and I'll see you again on the next video. Bye.